Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Hamza Hassan Abdirahman from School of Business and Social Science Core 2. I'm going to talk about entrepreneurs and managers. Okay, let's get down to business. Let's start with entrepreneurship. So, entrepreneurship is the process of starting a business or a businesses while building and scaling it to produce a profit. An entrepreneur is a person who sets up a business with the aim to make profit. Nevertheless, the entrepreneur definition involves much more than being a business or a job creator. Uh, Generally, we can say entrepreneurs are essential in the society as they create change and always give back to the community. Some of them even focus mainly on solving social problems, and they have a non-profitable organization that aims to make life more accessible and more comfortable for those who are in need. How do they do this? They invest and fund money to create solutions uh, to help the impoverished communities that have access to things that we take for granted, like drinking clean water and a good health care. So entrepreneurs play a vital role in any economy. They are the type of people. Uh, they are the type of people who have the skills and creativity needed to anticipate present and future needs and bring good new ideas to the market. So entrepreneurs who demonstrate to be successful in taking on risks are rewarded with profit, fame, and continued growth opportunities. And those who fail to suffer losses uh, and they become less prevalent in the market. So an entrepreneur is the person who is motivated to satisfy a high need for achievement in innovative and creative activities. So this creative behavior and innovative spirit forms a process of an endless chain and is termed as an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is also required to manage his business, so he has to perform both entrepreneurial and managerial functions. After the start of the business, he becomes more as a manager. An entrepreneur also must adapt the style of professional management. He must organize managerial functions by setting long-term objectives, formulating strategic policies, developing management information system, monitoring and evaluating system. He is required to possess management knowledge related to technical, economical, financial, and human administrative aspects. So here are some definitions of entrepreneurship, because there are a lot of arguments about which one is the right definition. So entrepreneurship, this one says entrepreneurship is a process of action an entrepreneur undertakes to establish his enterprise. Entrepreneurship can be defined also as a process undertaken by entrepreneur to augment his business interests. So it's an exercise involving innovation and creativity that will go towards establishing his or her enterprise. Last but not least, entrepreneurship is the inclination of mind to take calculated risks with confidence to achieve a predetermined business or an industrial objectives. According to the Charles Duhigg, the author of The Power of Habits, Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business, his studies shows that people perform automated behaviors the same way every time if they are in the same environment. So leveraging this behavior allows successful entrepreneurs to avoid decision fatigue and instead focus on more important things. So he prepared 11 successful habits of entrepreneurs. The first one is create a recharge ritual. enjoy time in solitude, take time to reflect, learn to disconnect from technology, plan your week ahead, get regular exercise, schedule micro adventures, wake up at the same time, minimize chores and tasks, create a morning routine for productivity, and schedule time for networking and meetings, because networking is essential for the successful entrepreneur. In fact, it can be the lifeblood of a business due to the connections and business referrals you can get it out from. So, with the busyness of everyday life, it can be often be neglected. So now let's start with the managers. Who is a manager? A manager is the person who is responsible for a part of a company, so they manage the company. Managers, they can be managers in charge of department and the people who work in it. In some cases, the manager is in charge of the whole business. A manager is the person who exercises managerial functions primarily. The manager's duty is include managing employees or a selection of the company on a day-to-day basis. Here are some levels of management. There are three levels of management. The first one is upper management. They are in charge of the company's strategy. In other words, they are the stewards of an organization of an organization's vision and mission. Second one is the middle management. They are responsible for the effectiveness and efficiency of specific areas of the company, such as marketing. They are also in charge of personal accounts. The last one is lower level management. So these type of managers are in charge of the output of certain products. They hold authority in vertical chain of command of a particular product line. Here are some qualities of a good manager: accountability, character, cultural affinity, prioritization, warmth, patience, honesty, decisiveness, empathy, positive attitude, competence, and flexibility. Manager roles. What are the roles of the manager? So managers are responsible for setting and achieving the firm's goals with through other people. There have been a number of studies on what managers actually do, the most famous of which conducted by Professor Henry Misenbach in the early 19th. He followed a bunch of managers around several weeks. He concluded that managers assume multiple roles. A role is an organized set of behaviors, and Minzenberg identified 10 roles, which he divided into three groups: interpersonal, informational, and decisional. So he said that interpersonal roles are to ensure that information is provided, and the informational roles is to link all managerial works together, while the decisional roles is to make significant use of the information. To conclude with, what can be the differences of entrepreneurs and managers? So entrepreneur is visionary and bear all financial risks, while manager works for salary and he does not have to bear any risks. Entrepreneurs focuses on starting and expanding the business ideas, while managers focus on daily smooth functioning of business. The key motivator for entrepreneur is achievements, while managers' motivation comes from the power that comes with their position. Reward for all efforts is profit he earns from the enterprise, while managers is the salary he draws from the company. Last but not least, entrepreneur can be informal and casual, while manager's approach is to every problem is very formal. Thank you.